Hello there. My name is Zakarioki, and you have found the Fury Podcast. Now, as it is the routine here, our goal is to explore the world around us through the lens of ideas. And today I thought of speaking of a news update I read on one of the leading news outlets about a statement that was made by Rigiji. And the statement went something like, there will be no roads for those MP who oppose the finance bill. And got me thinking, just for the heck of it, just what does that even mean? And all this I thought, was rather alarming. And so did most people, trust Twitter for recreational outrage, as it would have it, most people are like, what the hell is going on here? We are back on Moi days and whatnot, yeah? A lot of reaction. And, it just got me thinking, but a second thought, almost stopped me from continuing on that thought. And I thought, wait a minute, where is the context? It just got me thinking, one of my fondest moments growing up was listening to radio. I think Farid Kemani, with the Road Awakening, I think is the best to ever do it on radio. Anyway, one of those, grand moments was just walking down, the radio and listening to Top 10 at 10. I think I even had a little crush on one of the presenters who came at 10, Nadia Favorite. I think she's still doing her thing on radio. I even called her, one of the days, and I asked her whether she hated Catholic boys. But, if you have to think about that time, I think that limit on media through which you get your songs kind of made them, much more, I don't know, fulfilling almost or satisfying. Unlike it is the case right now that everything is just, a click away. There were very few players in the media space then. And of course, you had to wait until 7 p.m. to get the full picture of what was happening in the country. It was all supplier based, yeah? And fast forward to the now, in the era of instantaneous communication, where you can have a piece of information, let's call that a fact, and you can distribute that this very moment. And in a sense, it kind of makes you feel that everyone right now is a journalist, in their own capacity. They're all capturing the world around them and sharing that. But now, what is interesting is that the old dogs, let's call that, the rather traditional forms of media, I think they still want to back the same way. They still want to stamp the authority as if nothing happened. But here's what most people don't realize: whoever has the information has got all the power. So, in that case, if information is power, then it is just a matter of distribution. Who is distributing? When, where, how, right? And of course, by distributing, those who are interested, do stand behind the door, to get informed. As any company would have it, the goal is to remain profitable. So ideally, how the old dogs used to do it is to advertise, right? You have people's attention, they are glued to their TVs, during the day or during the night. You can pass some advertisement. And that is the old model, and it works. It has worked, for the longest time until, well, until now, I guess. Think about it, right? Here I am recording a podcast. I certainly do not have the kind of influence the major players in the media space have. I don't. But in a sense, I'm a journalist in my own capacity. I have what I would call information still, call that my passing thoughts, which I want to share. Yeah? Just like, NTV or Citizen TV are doing, they're informing us. I too have my passing thoughts. I am one of the many noises or voices that is actually competing with Citizen. Not like competing per se, but I'm playing their game too. That of information and distribution. And that was never the case, some time back. So in the wake of this new reality, what do the previous or mainstream media do? In my estimation, I think they have resorted to clickbait because it would appear that the context from which some information is extracted is equally as important as information. And then think this is what is pretty much ailing, or rather say the traditional forms of media, is that the clickbait has been their final move. Now, whether it's working or not, who is to say? But it is very clear that the more negative information is, the more reactionary and the more attention that you draw to yourself, the more they need to distribute it. And this is why. Think about it, right? It's been, what can I say? It's been a week of having, symptoms that are not going away. You're having cold chills, some headaches, here and there, some rashes, some night sweats. So you're in line, waiting for a doctor's appointment. You want to check yourself up, see what is happening. But when you're sitting there, you juggle your memory, and one memory kind of stands out, and it arrives you at a Sauti so constant. Yeah, maybe a few weeks ago. Yeah, you met baby boy there, and of course you exchange niceties and you stared into each other's eyes, and you danced to little mama, right? To little mama. Yeah. And later in the night, baby boy told you that he was all about, short and sweet, right? So you think to yourself, well, tequila shots are doing most of the work. And so the mating ritual is in full throttle. Fast forward to the morning after, you wake up, baby boy is not there. And, well, he has left a note. Check the note, and apparently it is written nothing. I mean, it's blank. You think to yourself, Jesus, Anna, I need to do better. I need to do better. So, I mean, whatever it is that you're waiting for the doctor to tell you could be good or bad. If it is good, then fair enough. You walk and you thank the Lord, for having saved you, and you promise God Almighty to do better. But if it is bad, it could mean that you have to attend to certain things, Perhaps your life might change. You have to be on medication or not. Bad news can actually kill you. The difference between knowing that there's a snake underneath your bed could be the gap between, being dead and being alive, right? And this is at the core of what I'm trying to maybe wrestle with here. The only way you can get someone to be reactionary and just pumped out on how they react to certain information, if it's perhaps negative, the more negative it is, the more reactionary you can get. And that is what perhaps in a sense is happening, is that the more news have a negative connotation, the more it becomes important to consider, to share. And that is what I think about journalism right now. It's clickbait, taking out, things out of context. Whatever is more reactionary, you take that and you just share that, right? And now what happens in this case of politics, for a game, I have to say it's a rather confrontational one. It's us against them. So who are you with, right? It's always that. There's always that, right? And if you have to even think about what governments really are, government for the most part is a lot of money, backed by violence. It's a very confrontational game, it's power, and we can see how, the old gatekeepers, the media, kind of catch on this, and they, commercialize it. It's against these two forces. This is saying this, and this is saying that, right? So the more you can get things out of context and you just share that, you're going to get a lot of followers of a certain, political, say, party outraged about the other. And so I am not putting the statement from Ricky G, beyond him. I don't know. I wasn't there, but I can see the catch. It's more reactionary. It gets a lot of people, thinking about, well, is this where we are at, right? Is this where we are at? Is this at this point is what the finance bill or not, right? Because that is a snippet that has been taken out of context, and that is just what you're reacting to. The context, you don't know what in the larger context that line was taken out from. It's what it is. In my estimation, it seems like the kicks of a dying horse, but here we are. I could be wrong about this for sure, but one thing is for sure, clearly an end of an era, that of supplier based to consumer based. I don't know what you think, But the idea that perhaps our number one problem is not politics but journalism, isn't that far-fetched, is it?